He let Ned die. Drew's dark secret exposed as General Hospital fans demand justice.
Will the Quatermains ever recover? The Quatermain mansion had seen decades of chaos, affairs, imposters, kidnappings, poisoning, explosive Thanksgivings, and more back from the dead returns than any other family in Port Charles history. But nothing, prepared them for the firestorm brewing now. Because this time, the whispers weren't about ELQ boardroom sabotage or another secret heir. This time, the accusation was monstrous. Drew Kane let Ned die. The phrase ricocheted through Port Charles like a gunshot, sparking panic, fury, and disbelief. Ned had been many things over the years: annoying, stubborn, prideful, messy, noble. But he was a Quatermain to his core.
He was family.
His suspicious collapse, followed by Drew's enigmatic silence, sent the rumor mill spinning into overdrive. And when a piece of evidence surfaced that hinted Ned's death wasn't an accident at all, that someone had stood by and done nothing, the target pointed in one direction.
Drew Kane.
Once the town's golden hero, the Navy SEAL turned corporate CEO, the man everyone hailed for his morality, now accused of betrayal so deep the family might never recover. This is the tale of how one shocking revelation shattered alliances, exposed bitter truths, and set Port Charles ablaze. A story fans are already calling. Thunder rumbled across the sky as Brooklyn Quatermain raced down the hospital hallway, her heels clacking against the tile as anxiety clawed up her spine.
Where is he? Where's my dad? She cried, panting.
Elizabeth appeared, her face grim.
Room 612.
Brooklyn, brace yourself.
No. No.
Her chest tightened as she shoved past nurses and four poles until she reached the door. And there, surrounded by frantic doctors, lay Ned Quatermain, motionless. The monitors were flat-lined, the room buzzing with urgent commands, and Brooklyn's world tilted.
What happened? She sobbed.
He was stable this afternoon. Elizabeth swallowed, hesitating. He was found unresponsive, alone. Alone.
Brooklyn gasped. Where was Drew?
He said he'd check on him.
Elizabeth froze. Brooklyn noticed.
Why aren't you answering me? Before Elizabeth could respond, a paramedic rushed into the room holding a small, sealed evidence pouch. Dr. Weber, this was found on the floor beside the patient's bed. Looks like a phone.
Elizabeth took one look, and her eyes widened. It was Drew's phone.
Minutes later, chaos erupted as the Quatermains flooded into the waiting area. Olivia was hysterical, Michael pale and shaking, Brooklyn a mix of heartbreak and fury. But the most unnerving reaction came from Tracy.
Her face was cold, calculating,
already piecing together a puzzle no one else had dared to imagine.
Where's Drew? She asked sharply. On his way, Michael said.
I called him, he said he was. Before he could finish, the elevator chimed and Drew stepped out, calm, composed, and disturbingly quiet.
Brooklyn stormed at him.
Where were you?
Drew blinked.
Brooklyn, what?
Don't, she screamed.
You were supposed to be with my father. You said you'd watch him while I handled the press release. So where the hell were you?
Drew opened his mouth, but Tracy cut in.
Elizabeth, she said icily, show him. Elizabeth stepped forward and lifted the evidence pouch containing Drew's phone.
Drew's expression tensed.
It was found beside Ned, Elizabeth said softly. Right before he coded. Brooklyn trembled with rage.
So you were there. You were with my father.
And now his.
Brooklyn. Drew reached out. She slapped his hand away.
Don't you dare touch me.
Within hours, the whispers began.
Drew was seen leaving the wing minutes before Ned collapsed. He was the last one with him.
He didn't call for help. Some insisted it was an accident.
Others said there was more, much more. And somewhere in the swirling chaos, an unnamed staff member, later revealed to be a new orderly with a history of selling stories to tabloids, told a reporter. Drew Kane walked out of Ned Quatermain's room and didn't alert anyone for at least 10 minutes.
10 minutes. 10 minutes could mean life or death. And for Ned, it meant death. The headline hit the Port Charles press by morning. Phones buzzed. Fans raged. The Quatermains shattered. And Drew? He said nothing, which only made it worse.
Michael cornered Drew in the Quatermain boathouse, a place once filled with childhood memories, now heavy with suspicion. Tell me the truth, Michael said, his voice low.
Were you in that room? Drew exhaled.
Yes. Michael's stomach dropped. Why didn't you say something earlier? Because the situation was complicated. Complicated.
Michael exploded. Ned was my uncle.
You owed him, us, the truth.
Drew's jaw tightened.
I didn't hurt him. But you didn't help him either.
Silence.
Michael felt the foundation crack beneath his feet. Did you at least call for a doctor?
Another silence. Michael stepped back as if struck.
Oh, my God. You didn't.
Drew finally looked him in the eyes.
I couldn't.
Michael stared.
Couldn't? Or wouldn't? A flicker of something, guilt, fear, flickered in Drew's gaze. The Quatermains will come for you, Michael whispered.
I know, Drew replied.
But not for the reason they think. Tracy was many things, ruthless, brilliant, vindictive, but she loved Ned fiercely.
And now her son was dead.
She called a family meeting in the living room, her expression lethal. We will uncover exactly what happened, she announced. And if Drew Kane let my son die, if he stood there and did nothing, then he is going to pay.
Brooklyn nodded tearfully. Olivia wept. Michael closed his eyes in anguish. But Monica? Monica looked torn.
Tracy, she said gently, we don't know the full story. You can defend your golden boy another time, Monica, Tracy snapped. But understand this, Drew's days in this family, hell, in this town, may be numbered. 2 days later, the investigation took a dark turn. A nurse came forward with new information. I heard voices in Ned's room earlier, she said. Voices arguing.
Olivia gasped. Arguing?
With who? The nurse hesitated, her voice trembling. I didn't see who, but I heard one sentence clearly.
She swallowed.
If you expose me, everything falls apart.
Brooklyn froze. Michael paled.
Olivia whispered, her voice cracking. That sounds like Drew.
And Tracy smiled grimly.
Oh, it absolutely does. For weeks, Drew's silence fanned the flames. But when Sam confronted him privately at Aurora, he finally broke. Drew, what are you hiding?
He closed his eyes. I didn't let Ned die.
But I wasn't there to help him, because Ned was about to expose something.
Sam's breath caught.
Expose what? Something that would destroy more than just me. That's not an answer, Drew. He opened a locked drawer, slid out a folder, and handed it to her.
Sam's eyes widened in shock.
You were investigating ELQ transactions made in Michael's name.
Drew nodded.
Transactions linked to someone laundering money, using ELQ as a shell.
Sam felt her heart pound.
You thought Ned knew? He didn't just know, he confronted me about it.
And you argued?
Yes.
Sam's voice shook.
And then he collapsed.
Drew swallowed hard.
I thought he was faking it at first, trying to force a confession out of me.
Sam stared at him, horrified.
You hesitated.
Drew nodded, eyes haunted.
And by the time I realized it was real, it was too late. Sam whispered, Oh my God. Word spread fast.
Fans turned vicious. Social media lit up like wildfire.
#JusticeForNed trended for 48 hours. People confronted Drew in the Metro Court, at the docks, outside ELQ headquarters. You murderer. You coward. You betrayed the Quatermains. You let him die. Even Curtis, normally calm, told him, you need to come clean before someone else gets hurt. But the most painful confrontation came from Monica herself. Drew, she said, eyes glistening, I love you like a son. But if you saw Ned in distress and didn't call for help, I can't protect you from this. He nodded silently. He didn't ask for protection. He didn't deserve it. Just when the town fully turned against him, a bombshell dropped. The autopsy revealed. Ned's collapse was caused by a fast-acting cardiac toxin. A toxin that acted so quickly, even immediate medical attention might not have saved him. Drew wasn't cleared. Far from it. But the narrative shifted. He didn't kill Ned. But did he know something was wrong earlier? Did he cover up the argument? Did he panic when he realized how it looked? Suspicion remained. But now, another question emerged. Brooklyn received the footage first, a security clip emailed anonymously. She opened it. She gasped. A shadowy figure slipped into Ned's room minutes before Drew arrived, someone wearing scrubs, someone moving with precision. Then the figure turned slightly, enough to reveal a familiar face. Brooke Lynn screamed.
Mom.
Michael.
Tracy. Look.
They rushed in, and the video played again. There, unmistakably, was Valentin Cassadine. Olivia collapsed into a nearby chair.
Trace's jaw dropped.
Michael stared in disbelief. Brooke Lynn whispered, "He killed my father to protect his control of ELQ." When the evidence was delivered to the PCPD, Drew made his own statement. Standing before Chase and Dante, he said, "I hesitated because I thought Ned was trying to blackmail me. I made a terrible mistake. But I didn't poison him.
I didn't want him dead.
And I will live with the guilt of those lost minutes for the rest of my life."
Chase studied him. Dante nodded slowly.
"Your hesitation didn't kill Ned," Dante said.
"But it didn't help him either." Drew nodded. "I know."
With Valentin now the prime suspect, the Quatermain family shifted from vengeance to justice.
Tracy called an emergency ELQ board meeting.
Brooke Lynn vowed to dismantle Valentin's empire piece by piece. Olivia promised Ned's memory would not be tainted by lies. Michael struggled with guilt, because it was his name associated with the laundering Valentin used as leverage.
And Drew? Drew resigned from ELQ. From Aurora. From everything.
He said he needed time to live with what happened, and to face the truth about himself.
Some forgave him. Some never would. But the town's final question remained. Only time would tell.
3 weeks later, Brooke Lynn stood at Ned's grave, wind blowing through her hair. "I know you were trying to protect us," she whispered. "And I swear, your death won't be in vain."
Behind her, a shadow approached. Drew. He kept his distance but spoke softly.
"Brooke Lynn."
"I'm sorry."
She turned, tears in her eyes.
"I know you didn't kill him," she said. "But you let fear cloud your judgment. And for that,
I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive you."
Drew nodded.
"I don't expect you to." Brooke Lynn looked at the engraved name on the stone, Ned Ashton Quatermain. "I just hope you never hesitate again. Not with anyone."
"I won't," Drew promised. As Brooke Lynn walked away, Drew stayed behind. He placed his hand on the grave. "I'll make this right," he whispered. But the wind carried another whisper. A voice Drew couldn't hear. "This is only the beginning." Far off, watching from the shadows, Valentin Cassadine smiled.